Oh, I can't get my mouth around that thing. Oh.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy New Year to all of you. Happy Tuesday, January 4th. Back in Parkdale, sick. We haven't tested for COVID in the last 48 hours, so who knows? It could be LeCron James. It could be just a regular old sickness. The kids are sick as well, which is nice. I haven't even opened up the door to my patio. I call it patio? Balcony. Patio. That's what I'm calling this pigeon fuck fest, the patio. I haven't opened the door to my balcony. I have no idea what's out there. I'm afraid to look. I know there's going to be pigeon sperm, feathers fucking everywhere. I haven't looked. Not going to look. I'm not going to look outside. There's an eerie quiet outside in Toronto right now because we're back locked down again. You can't have groups of over 5 indoors. The fuck is going on? What is going on? Ridiculous. How many of your friends have Omicron right now? At least 90% of them are saying it's just a tickle in my throat. It's nothing. Yet we're going to ruin every small business and fucking goddamn. So I'm pissed off. I'm sick. But it's been a long time since I focused on just solely capping the card. And that's all I'm going to do for the next, I don't know how long. Not going to go outside of this fucking zombie land outside. Not going to open the door to my balcony with a pigeon fuck fest out there. I'm just going to hang out with you guys day in and day out, capping the card together. And that will bring me back the happiness that I so long forgot. Real Deal Prime in the house. Henry Dice, Andrew G, Sammy Calmer, Dan Kelly says Grizzlies money line 30 and 25 picks posted in the Jimmy the Bag chat. Memphis, yes, the Cavs are not the juggernaut they once were. Memphis is the look from Dan Kelly. Grizzlies money line. What a game they played last night. The Grizz second half of a back-to-back. Thank you for sharing that with us. Rem Moses, Prince of Parkdale's back. Oh, God, man. Oh, get me out of here. Brian Watson, Jeff Shahadi ready to go. Jared JB said the Pistons did the Pistons mystery. Look, I haven't opened. I've heard sounds out there, but I haven't opened the door to the balcony. I'm not going to. Brian Watson, Viper NB, J Peasy. Oh, God. Oh, God. Our flight got in. It was delayed 3 times getting out. We get in maybe about 9 o'clock. Yeah, of course, we stay on the fucking tarmac for at least an hour. Then once we get to our gate, what the fuck? What do you call it? The arm wasn't working, iced down. That took another 45 minutes. Get home at 12:30. Henry Dice says Avalanche team total under 3.5 Lightning in regulation. That's very interesting. Looks, Henry Dice. Let me copy and paste that from Henry Dice. Interesting. JJB says sounds like you need a hug. You know what? Look, this sucks. This sucks. If I didn't have you guys, I'd be in the throes of despair. I mean that. This just sucks. It sucks so much. Cab in the house. Let's go, Brandon. There's Turnsey, Paco Healy, T-Mac, Ulysses Hayes, Wesley Costas, Kent Davies, Danny Lopez in this joint, Guillermo Zertucci in the house. Man, I can't even. It's hard to fathom. It's hard to fathom that 48 hours ago, I was in the most beautiful horse track in the entire world, by far, Santa Anita, the great race place. It was 17 degrees Celsius. The sun was shining. We were cashing winners. My Ella was having the time of her life. There was a big playground, and it was. And now look where I am, back in Parkdale, amongst the pigeons shitting in a lockdown city. Goddamn, gee, being at Santa Anita with you and your son Eli and my family. I mean, that's heaven, man. $5 unit in the house. Mark Schillingbird. Ken Davis says, who else got in on Kansas State early? Got a unit on the -2.5 and over 11.5 first half. All those numbers are being juiced heavily. Yes, I capped the game yesterday. And I was like, why am I not on Kansas State? How do you not? And I beat up the cap. I'm really looking forward to cap that game. I spent a lot of time on it. Yeah, look, it may sound simple. It may sound public, and we'll go over all that. But what are we trying to do in bowl games? Trying to find a situation where we know that one team isn't trying. And it certainly feels like that for LSU. It certainly feels like they're not putting their best team out. Poor Brad Davis. I mean, we'll go over that game. But, yeah, I moved on Kansas State first half and full game. I got 3.5 and 7, and I'm not even that concerned. Puzzler ready to go. There's Matty Ice. Matty Ice says, missed the family. There's Slatsy. Says, welcome back to the cold and pigeons. Happy New Year's. Let's catch this NHL. Look at that. Kent Davies rolling. And Forest Green Rovers from Danny Lopez getting an EPL action. Davidless ready to go. Tom Racing says, sorry for the damn lockdown. It's just ridiculous. It's, I don't want to, sit here and talk about it too long, but they're just, they're just devastating so many families here. Because what? Some people have a tickle in their throat. Is that why? Because some people have a cough. Look, we are lucky. We're so lucky. We've had 2 years of bullshit, and now this variant has become nothing, and we shut down the whole city. Dennis Garcia says, how are the pigeons? I have not looked outside. I'm not going to look outside. Wesley Costa said, I had the Omicron. I sneezed like twice, I think. Oh, God. Okay. Yes, I do. Buzz Nuts, thank you for joining us. Yes, Paco Healy, Pete is traveling. He'll be back with us next Tuesday. There is TrotWam. He will be back in action with me. Jeffrey Blue. What a great group. All right, we got to get to work. Remo says, look out, squirrels. He's back. There you go. That still haunts me, man. God. For those of you who don't know, I was working in my room. And at that time, my bed was like right up against the window, and the squirrel, these fucking public housing squirrels climb up 8 stories like it's nothing, right? And he was right on my windowsill, and I already got like holes in the, God, I can't even think, probably barely slept, but whatever it is, the screen. I already got holes in the screen. I don't want more holes. So I tap the screen lightly. Just tap it lightly. And the squirrel looks at me and goes, and then drops 8 floors to its death. And now I've got that hanging over me for the rest of my life. That slap in the concrete, I'll never forget. And I'm going, oh, no. And I ran over to the balcony going, no, looking at like something else. Like I don't know, something would have saved him or he would have flown away. No, of course he's flat out dead because of my tap. And I've got that hanging over me for the rest of my life. Oh, God. It's just, maybe we should just do this. Maybe we should just talk about the mistakes we've made in our past and not even bother capping the card. Is this how it's going to change? Jimmy, now we get to make money hand over fist in the NHL. You know what? There was a lot of things going on. I had time to reflect. Let's take a call that. I had time to reflect while I was gone. And it's not, there's my man Sharon in the house. It's not it's not the prep that destroys me. It's not the prep that weighs on my shoulders. It's not. I actually like the prep. I enjoy the prep. I enjoy working as hard as possible so that I can break down games for us to cash on. I enjoy that. It's my own action. It's my own action that weighs on my shoulders so heavy. Like I took a few days off of, I got killed. So I got killed on week 16. And it messed with my head. And then I didn't make a bet until week 17. Didn't make one bet. I guess not. I guess I bet on the Canucks first period against the Kings when I was there. And I realized that's what's the most stressful thing for me is my own action, And then I was talking to Guillermo about like what do I got to do to make that stress go away? And in all honesty, and I know this might sound like a pussy ass move, but I got, a 10-month-old son, I got a 4-year-old daughter, and I think I should cut my units by 25%. I don't think I've earned the right to bet $200 on every football game, hockey game right now. That's something that you earn. So I'm thinking of cutting. I already cut NBA from 150 down to 100 like a little bitch. And I'm thinking of cutting my unit size down again. You earn the right to make bigger bets. And if that's what's weighing me down all the time is my own action, not the prep. I love the prep. Then I got to change things around. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Jose Bouquet has action today. Yeah, Ulysses says government not closing states. You have a great country, man. You have a great country. I enjoyed being in America very, very, very much. Lesko says, I lived in Parkdale many moons ago. I wouldn't have lived to be 61 tomorrow if I'd stayed there. Let's go. Oh, well, I have no fear of being, rolled up on. Oh, that shit. People know me in the neighborhood, whatever, and it's not like a transient neighborhood. Okay, fuck it. Let's there's razor sharp picks in the house. Schnizzle. Dan, okay, we got to get to work. I could just sit here and just talk. I feel like I can talk. Danny Lopez says about risk management. I mean, if you're not hot, scale back, right? Keep moving forward. I agree. And Wine Time. Wine Time says continue to fade the teams that have 85% of money or more on them. Schnizzle, I hear you. B-Lab says, is Pete in his tree house again? I don't think that was in Costa Rica. I don't, but those tree houses are not where you want to be in Brooklyn, as far as I know. So I don't think he's in a tree house, but he's on the road. He's on the road. There's Mr. Gogster in the house. Turnsy says, emotional support stream today. I'm down. Turnsy, I know. I hear you. Deacon Mike says, I'm shocked that they let you back in Canada. Yeah, they said, do you have any I can't even think straight. Do you have any are you coughing? Do you have any COVID symptoms? I was like, no, we have no COVID symptoms. As soon as I said that, Carter just coughed for about 20 seconds and we just stared at each other. But they did let me back in. All right. So another thing, when you get a chance to sit and think about things, NFL, I've been capping all these different cappers throughout the whole entire season. And the overall record is negative. And I'm capping all these cappers and watching what's working, what's not working. And NFL is where the books make all of their money. Makes all their money. So you have to break down why do the public get killed in NFL every year? What is it that the public's doing? And of course, it's they're believing in what they've seen the week before. And that's why the Cardinals plus 6.5 was the easiest bet on the board, because what we are doing is in that bet is the Cowboys play a perfect game and feel very good about themselves, and the Cardinals were falling apart. The game meant so much to these Cardinals, and they're going to give us 6.5 points. Imagine that 5 weeks ago. Impossible. And we knew the public was all over the Cowboys, so the Cardinals were an easy look. The Ravens, and shout out Clint, started the Die Hard MMA podcast. The Ravens were an easy look. The Rams had their second straight week on the road. They had played 5 days. They had 5 days off before that Vikings game, and then another road game in Baltimore, and the public was all over the Rams. It was a very easy Ravens win for us, and we have to take advantage of fading the public in NFL, because we know that, and it's not always going to be like 100%, but Dennis Garcia says, hope Carter's feeling better. No, the family's sick right now. Dennis Garcia said the Cowboys killed like every teaser. Jared TG says NFL's hard, man. It was I'm not going to sit here and take a ton of credit for that spot. I'm very thankful, and I mentioned it to Guillermo that Clint got me to double up on the Ravens, because I had them at plus 3.5. Then I took them again at plus 7. Okay. Damon Santori says the Texan spot was easy. Shout out to Jacksonville Zoe for being the only one that had the confidence to not believe in Trey Lance. Okay, and Champino says fade the bet MGM boost. So we need to, as a group, do more than just cap the card. That's another thing that I realized when I had a little bit of time off, is that we need to find angles where we can win and continually win. And the Rockets have been playing to overs for 6 weeks? The team totals against the Rockets have been cashing every game, every single game. And that's all Nut Flush's betting. And those of you who've run with me for a long time, remember 3 years ago when Twatty Latte was only betting Cincinnati Reds team total overs when they got hot. We have to look at things differently. Jeff Joseph says, looking at the other in the Chiefs game, Andy Reid known to sit guys. Chiefs can't really better themselves. So we have a big NFL show tonight, and week 18 is tricky. And 2 years ago, I was having a really nice NFL season, and I got killed on week 18, or 17 then, week 18 now. But there's going to be advantages. Dan Kelly said, did anyone else get on Pittsburgh live at the end of the first quarter last night? Browns did not look good, but you're still getting Pittsburgh 1.5. Sometimes I tell myself I don't have a choice. That was another spot where the chat on our Tuesday show got me off of the Cleveland Browns, working together. But we have to find the angles that are going to continually cash for us. And a lot of them will be psychological and different than just capping the card. Henry Dice says, I stay away from NFL, Jimmy. I get it. I get why you do. I went 8-3 plus 4.7 units. Didn't make up for the money I lost in week 16, but makes me feel a little better. All right, let's get to work right now. We go into NHL. I'm a little behind in my record keeping. So Wednesday, I'm going to have everything back set up for record keeping. Okay. Dennis Garcia says, I either crush or get killed last NFL regular season week. I love this week. You have to find the advantages like you can find in the bowl games, like we did last year when I went 27-9, found the teams that weren't trying. And Dennis Garcia does that. He sees week 18. Some people see week 18 and think, who's going to be playing? Who's going to start? I'm not going to bother. I used to do that when a horse race was taken off of the turf. And then I watched Dennis Garcia dig in. There's Big Show, day 2 of COVID, but we're still here. We all, much love to you, Big Show. I hate hearing that you're hurting, man. I hope you have a big recovery, man. Okay, thinking of you, a Big Show. All right, let's get... What's going on?
Howdy. Hello, nice to see you again. I just wanted to ask you, maybe not all of us got to go to the horse track. Not all of us got to enjoy all the winners and such. Was there a moment that you enjoyed? Perhaps a story you could share with us and me, perhaps?
Yes. Yes, it was December 26th was one of the funnest days I can remember having. We had a big crew of us, B-Ball 619. We had a Sharpie. I got to hang out with Sharpie in person. And we had Noli, DJ, Big Boss. We had the whole Nut Flush Allen family except for Caden. We had
who won his ping pong game, by the way?
Oh, I dominated. They didn't get to double digits in any of the games. I'm very good at ping pong, and I will. If you're coming to San Antonio, we're gonna get slaughtered to put a ping pong table in the Southtown 1-on-1, and we're gonna get to work and bring money because I don't fuck around.
Okay. All right, fine. I mean, Venezuelans are notably good at ping pong, so be careful.
Ski Prophet says Caden too cool now. Yeah, he's at that age. He's at that age. He's hanging with his guys. Okay. 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 Let's get to work right now. We have NHL, and let me make sure that I got the sports insights up. And I've taken quite a long break off of NHL, and I'm excited to get back in business. And I've been watching a lot of it as well. And there's been tons of COVID issues and stuff. And, there were some spots that I thought were pretty easy to cash. But that week 16 really messed with my head. So let's get to work. All right, we start 7 p.m. Eastern. New Jersey Devils 13-15-5, 5-8-2 on the road at Boston Bruins 16-10-2, 8-5-1 at home. We're at TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Mackenzie Blackwood against Linus Ullmark, we expect. So let me know if that is not the case. Yes, Bogey, that is Baby Bag in the background. Yeah, he was great. He really blossomed on this trip. It's too bad he was sick. He was just about to walk. He's taking like 2 or 3 steps now. Ulysses Hayes says Anaheim Ducks money line, Hart back in net. Should take time for him to get back right. Timing off with that much time off. We'll get to that game, but it's hard for me to back the Ducks without Zegras and without Getzlaf. Although they played the Avs well in that 4-2 loss. It was 2-2. The Avs scored with like a minute left. We'll go over that spot. Gamblers first glance, Marquette -1 for Razor Sharp picks. Marquette -1. Copy and paste that. Bogey, great to see you, my man. Thank you for rolling with us. Happy New Year. All right. So let's pop this in. Wine Time Sports says, I'm on the Devils, 5-0 coming off an OT win. Damon Santori says, I can't believe our boys almost won. It was impressive. It was impressive. They fought hard, but I still don't want them as a big favorite without the two studs, whom I believe are certainly the two most important forwards, probably the two most important players. So Mackenzie Blackwood, 8-6-3, 3.22 goals against average, 8.97 save percentage, 2 shutouts. He's not being as good as a lot of people predicted and expected, and he's not being as good as I thought he would be either. Dennis Garcia says minus 245 for Boston is just way too high, and he's absolutely right. Let's get over to NHL here with the odds. He's absolutely right. This Devils team is rolling right now, and that is a ridiculous price. An absolutely ridiculous price. And the Bruins just aren't that good. And Pasternak is doing very little. I don't know how you don't bet the Devils in this spot. Kent Davies took Boston first period. Real Deal Prime in the house. Much love, man. Okay, Devils power play 14.4%. Penalty killing 81.1%. They're rolling right now. They won 3 straight. They're coming off that win Sunday night, 4-3 at Washington. Hischier scored 2 goals, has 5 points in 5 straight games. And Jack Hughes has 8 points over a 3-game winning streak. Can we keep Carter down a little bit back there if possible? Thank you. And they're not getting any power play points. Hischier and Jack Hughes are rolling, and they're not getting power play points. Dougie Hamilton took a puck to the face that required a hospital visit. The extent of the injury is unclear. Has he been that good? Dommy Gun in the house is locked on over 6 for the Devils, over 5.5 for Columbus Blue Jackets and Vegas. It's okay, Max. Don't worry, man. Do your thing. Let's get this here. Go. Pop this in here. Okay. Okay, so what do we have with the Devils? We have Jack Hughes rolling. We have winners of 3 straight. We have Hischier rolling. How do we not take them out this line? Johnny K says he controls the power play. Well, yeah, he does, Johnny, but he's done a shit job. Maybe it'd be good to get him off the power play for a minute. Hitting at 14.4%. There's Ray Charles in the house. Deacon Mike likes New Jersey over 2.5 goals at plus 120. The Bruins won their second straight game, 5-1 at Detroit on Sunday. By the way, just before we leave the Devils, Jesper Bratt has been so good. 29 points in 32 games. He's absolutely rolling right now. Brad Marchand having another great year, 30 points in 23 games. But where's Pasternak? 8 goals in 28 games. He has 4 even-strength goals this year. His shooting percentage is 6.7%. Boston's a healthy group right now. Center Carson Coleman is on the COVID list. Right winger Curtis Lazar is day-to-day with an undisclosed injury. But that is it. Ulysses Hayes said this is a great spot for the Devils. Big test for them versus the Bruins. Dad Fenn says Carter's got a lot to say. Is he capping already? Well, he did go to Santa Anita while he was 0, which is important to me. But he's not capping yet. Jared TG says if you're a person who bets on value, you got to take the Devils. I don't know how we don't take the Devils here. And if you're concerned that the Bruins are just going to kind of battle back and take care of business, and Devils first period at plus 175. Mr. Ghost says Dougie Hamilton day to day. Yeah, it's possible he comes back. I couldn't figure out the extent of his injury. How did the Devils not end up on a card? I honestly. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board, 7 p.m. Eastern. I put some question marks beside the Devils. Calgary Flames 17-7-6, 13-4-2 on the road at Florida Panthers 21-7-4, 17-3-0 at home. We're at Florida Live Arena in Sunrise, Florida. Oh, and I didn't give you guys the cash flow on that Devils game. Let's move over there and figure this out. We have just 2,711 tickets in. 8% of the tickets. Oh, no, that's cash. They don't have the tickets up. 8% of the cash. Oh, that's spread. Sorry. 41% of the money line tickets on the Devils, 48% of the cash. Sorry, I barely slept last night. 83% of tickets on the over, 86% of cash on the over. That over seems to make sense too, but I generally don't like Bruins overs. But doesn't that over 5.5 make sense? And Devils Bruins? Johnny K says Devils score first is pretty juicy. And that is a Stanley Cup preview. I think that over makes sense too. I've not succeeded very much with Boston Bruins overs. Let's talk about this spot. Jacob Markstrom against Sergei Bobrovsky is what I'm expecting. Markstrom 12-6-5, 1.99 goals against average, 930 save percentage, 5 shutouts. He's being spectacular. Sergei Bobrovsky 14-3-2, 2.47 goals against average, 918 save percentage, no shutouts. Calgary's power play at 23.6%, penalty killing at 85.4%. They've been very good. They have a hell of a coach, and he's got the most out of Goodrow, Kachuk, and Lindholm. They're all having big years. We just talked about the Bruins and Charlie McAvoy. We talked about the Flames and Matthew Tkachuk. Benning picked Oli Uolevi over both of those guys. Unbelievable. What an ass clown. What an absolute ass clown. Can you imagine you're looking at defenders and you pick Oli Uolevi over Charlie McAvoy? Also, I know that Hedman is being just unbelievably spectacular, but I would kind of lean towards North American defensemen if they're around the same spot. And I say that because it's really tough to come up as a young defenseman in North America. And it's tough when you're a star young defenseman and you're playing against older guys and there's bullying and there's shit that goes on in North America that maybe you don't have to deal with as much when you're Oli Uolevi growing up. There's Eric Jones in the house. Dennis Garcia says, how about those Canucks? You may have only dropped 1 point since Bruce there showed up. Go Van Gogh. Yeah, and they chant Bruce, there it is, in the arena. Well, they did before it all got shut down because our government's a bunch of pussies. Florida power play at 17.1%, penalty killing at 80.8%. Flames coming off their second straight win, 5-1 at the Blackhawks on Sunday. Let me just make sure I'm logged in here so I can get at least a Bet365 opener for you guys. What the hell? All right, what the hell's going on? They're not letting me in. Wow. All right. Maybe they've new ownership switched up the site a bit. So I don't have the openers here unless I click on it, which I can do. All right. So money lines here. We have the Flames opened up at plus 120. They're now at plus 115. A lot of injury issues in this spot. Arthur Meade Jr. says, I like Calgary in this spot. Razor Sharp picks. Oh, and Turnsey going back at it. Okay, Flames coming off their second straight win, 5-1 at Blackhawks on Sunday. This is a healthy squad. The Panthers coming off their third straight win, 5-2 at home over the Habs, but they're down Sammy Reinhart and Mason Marchment due to COVID. They have Sam Bennett on a 3-game suspension for a check to Cedric Paquette's head. Huberdeau's having a monster season. Look at the season Ekblad's having. He's finally come of age. He's finally the star that everyone thought he would be when he was drafted first overall. 9 goals, 16 assists, 25 points in 31 games, and he's a plus 21. Wait till I give you Devin Taves' numbers for the Avalanche. I told you how good he was when he was out of the lineup. What he's doing this year is unbelievable. Devin Taves, defenseman for the Avs. I'll talk about that. But Ekblad, what spectacular numbers. You know what? You take Reinhart, Marchment, and Bennett off this Panthers squad. You have a Calgary Flames team that's 13-4-2. I don't see why you don't have Dogs, the Devils, and the Flames to start at your card. Johnny K says Verhaeghe might play. I have Verhaeghe playing in my stuff. Maybe that is wrong, but that's what I have. Kent Davies took the Flames. Turnsey says me too, I'm sure. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's move on right now. Flames, Panthers. You take those guys out of the Panthers lineup, you have to think that the Flames are live here. I do. Okay, let's roll on. Next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, Tampa Bay Lightning, 21-8-5. Oh, I'll give you the cash on that game, too, if it matters. 3,480 tickets in. 48% of the tickets, 55% of the cash on the Flames. 49% of tickets, 90% cash on the over. All that makes sense. Jared TG bet Florida over 2.5 goals. Says, I'm sure it's juiced to hell now. Could definitely see the Flames winning, though. Puzzler also took the Flames money line. All right, Lightning Jackets, Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Andre Vasilevsky, 17-5-3, 2.21 goals against average, 925 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Versus Elvis Merzlikins, 12-8-1, 3.20 goals against average, 907 save percentage, 1 shutout. Tampa Bay's power play just 18.1%. We expect that to go up now that Braden Point is back in the lineup. And, Stamkos has been so good, but we know who's the alpha in that dressing room, and it's Kucherov, and he's been out for a long time, which is going to help them getting the LITR off of their payroll. This Lightning team has lost 3 straight, and they've looked bad doing it, losing 4-0 at the Rangers on Sunday. They've been outscored 17-6 over the 3 games. Stamkos, 16 goals, 23 assists, 39 points in 33 games. Victor Hedman having another Norris-worthy season, 7 goals, 27 assists, 34 points in 34 games. Raymond Reichart, what's happening? Henry Dice says Bolts to bounce back. Clint, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, says it feels like another Merzlikins has been good, and Vasi isn't letting a goal in after that range loss. This is very important. So about Merzlikins, I don't know if he's going to be in, and that's why I almost moved even on this huge favorite line on the Lightning. The Jackets coming off their third loss in 4 games, 7-4 at home versus the Hurricanes. Merzlikins didn't practice yesterday. He has lower body discomfort, says Coach Brad Larson. So there was a collision between him and Voracek, but Merzlikins ended that game in relief for Daniel Tarasov. So Tarasov is out with a lower body injury. So now you have Tarasov and possibly Merzlikins out. Dennis Garcia says Columbus in the over. They've been going over a lot, but and then Slatsy says Werenski out he's in COVID protocols. He went into COVID protocols Sunday. With that being said, I couldn't touch the Columbus Blue Jackets under any circumstances here. But do you want this Lightning squad at this price? Let's just see what movement we've seen with this Lightning squad money line here. Wow. Jeez. This came out yesterday at 12:30 p.m. at -175. They're now at -235. And that must be the Merzlikins news. But I just can't take it. Deacon Mike, I hear you, my man. Okay. I can't take the Lightning at this price. But and then I can understand the overs. I think the overs make sense if Merzlikins is hurting. You might have a locked-in Lightning squad. Johnny K says line 8 firing. That's going to be a stay-off game for me. Let's move on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. San Jose Sharks 17-15-1, 8-8-0 on the road at Detroit Red Wings, 15-15-3, 11-5-2 at home. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Reimer going up against Nedeljkovic. Look at Nedeljkovic's numbers. Now, I know he doesn't have a great team in front of him, but that's who Nedeljkovic is. And that's why a leader like Rod Brind'Amour didn't think he was the goalie to take this team to the promised land. A great hockey player and leader like Rod Brind'Amour. And I'm telling you, when these guys that you respect so much make these decisions, you have to honor them. And that's what I've done with Nedeljkovic. And I don't believe in the kid because Rod Brind'Amour didn't believe in the kid. And I believe in Rod fucking Brind'Amour. Reimer 11-6-1, 2.56 goals against average, 919 save percentage. Nedeljkovic's save percentage down to 913. San Jose's power play 18.1%, penalty killing at 83.3%. Their defense has been abysmal of late. Detroit power play at 14.4%, penalty killing at 76.9%. Let's see what we're dealing with from a market here. Let's just get to money lines. We have Detroit as a pick'em against San Jose. Open as a pick'em, still as a pick'em, no movement there. Mr. Ghost says Ned's been hurting of late. All goalies go through it. He's my guy, Jimmy. And Trinity says Wings 1 point out of a wild card right now. Sharks had their 2-game winning streak snapped in an 8-5 loss at Pittsburgh Sunday. They've allowed 17 goals in 3 games since the break. It's just terrible. Timo Meier's been excellent all year. 13 goals, 21 assists for 34 points in just 28 games. He is a +11. Logan Couture has been great too. 12 goals, 17 assists, 29 points in 32 games, and is a +7. This is a pretty healthy group. And you have to expect them to tighten up the ship at some point. Red Wings have lost both games since the break and been outscored by the Bruins and Capitals by a combined score of 8-2. They lost 5-1 at home to Boston on Sunday. This is a healthy group with no excuses. Dylan Larkin has stepped up his game. He now has 15 goals, 15 assists, and 30 points in 29 games. But it's clear, we talk about Kucherov being the alpha in the Lightning dressing room. It's clear who's the alpha on this Red Wings team and who they need, and it's Tyler Bertuzzi. Do you know that no Detroit Red Wing has a plus-minus of better than +3, except for Bertuzzi, who's at a +11? This is just a tough guy to play against, and it's too bad that we don't need to say – I'm saying it's too bad he didn't get vaccinated only because he can't play in Canada. That I'm not going to make any statements on whether or not you should get the jab. That's not. We're capping sports here, and I'm never going to. But that's too bad. He's the only player in the entire league unvaccinated. All right, Christopher Commenty says 2 teams that can't be trusted, 2 teams that are playing bad. And that's why it's a pick'em. This is a coin flip. Jared TG says definitely looks like an overspot. You have to wonder teams like the Sharks and the Lightning who've been allowing all these goals. Will they tighten up the ship? Satsy says it's a 5.5. God, like that over the way San Jose has been giving up goals. All right, let's move on to the next spot. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Avalanche 18-8-2, 7-6-1 on the road to Chicago Blackhawks, 11-17-4, 6-7-2 at home. We're at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. I still have yet to move on the Avalanche futures, but they're still sitting at plus 600 like they were before the break. I believe they're the best team in the NHL. Is 6-1 enough on your money? What's it going to be when they pick up Marc-Andre Fleury? And if I was the Avalanche, I'd pick up Georgiev. That's who I would try to get Georgiev off the Rangers as soon as Shesty's back rolling. I don't know if he's available. That's who I would pick up. Abankuki says the series historically trends under. And Diehard MMA Podcast says big step down here for the Wings, though. No Boston, Hurricanes, Islanders, Blues. Now they get the Sharks. I think so. I do think that it's still too much of a coin flip for me to actually bet on it. So, much love, Turnsey. There's Dennis Trusty in the house. Okay, Kemper, Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't think Kemper's enough for them to win the Stanley Cup. I think they got to do something. 14-5-0, 2.73 goals against average, 909 save percentage. Marc-Andre Fleury, 9-10-1, 2.86 goals against average, 913 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Colorado power play at 24.1%. Their penalty killing bad at 75%. They've got to fix that if they want to win a cup. Chicago, 17.5% power play, also has a 75% penalty killing. Johnny K says when Eichel gets good, Vegas going to be bet on. Is that going to be this year, though? I mean, no one's come back from that surgery, so we'd have to see. Domigon says, I hate that idea, Jim, as a Ranger fan. I just think he's the best backup goaltender in the league, Georgiev. And when he knows he's the man, he seems to be better than when he's coming in every fourth or fifth game. Okay. So, Avs played their first game since the break, winning 4-2 at home over the Ducks on Sunday. It wasn't very good. This is as healthy as they've been for some time. Nichushkin set out with an upper body injury. How good has Nazem Kadri been? My God, he's been a monster this year. Remember, this is a guy who had 1 goal in his last 27 games last year. Look what he's done this year. 11 goals, 28 assists for 39 points in 25 games. Now, I've already given you a hint about what I want to say about Devin Taves because I think he's incredible defenseman, and this team is loaded with them. Too bad that Bowen Byram's out. So, listen to Devin Taves' numbers, and I spoke very highly of him while he was out. 5 goals, 16 assists, and 21 points in 17 games. 21 points in 17 games. So he's number 1 in the NHL in points per game by a defenseman. In 17 games, he's a plus 21. Plus 21. He's just a hell of a hockey player. The Blackhawks come in off their 4 straight loss, 5-1 at home to Calgary. What a shit hockey team this is. I feel bad for all the hardcore Blackhawks fans, but you did get your 3 Stanley Cups, so fucking blow me. Your team sucks. This is a healthy squad with no excuses. Patrick Kane, DeBrincat, Seth Jones are doing all they can. No one else on the squad is doing anything. Johnny Taves has 3 goals, and he's a minus 13 in 32 games. 3 goals and a minus 13 in 32 games. Even ex-finance minister Vic Taves thinks you're playing like shit, Johnny. All right, so I mean, look, I get the Avalanche are the pick here, but at what price? Let's see. So they're minus 250 right now. They opened up at minus 225. They got up to minus 260. The Avalanche didn't look good in that first game. Did they need that first game against the Ducks? Possibly. And look, at Trinity saying plus 21, 17 games is incredible. Mr. Gokster says Tampa Bay, Colorado moneyline parlay sounds nice. You know, that's an interesting look, Gokster. I like it. And Kent Davies said I did bet the Hawks. What would if we want these Avs a minus 1.5, it's plus 100. This team is just falling apart. Now, is Marc-Andre Fleury going to stand on his head and show that he should be the goaltender for the Avs? God, the Blackhawks are such a bad hockey team. No, I mean, they're better than they've been the last, and then Ghosts are just better. They're better than they've been the last 2 games. That's the one thing that does make me a little uncomfortable. The Avs shouldn't feel that good about themselves in that 4-2 win over the Ducks. I mean, it was 2-2 with a minute and a half left. They were lucky to get that third. But is, you know, the Blackhawks being outscored 11-2 in 2 games since the break. I mean, the whole idea about sports gambling is to sell high and buy low, and Trinity said, what happened to Kane? He's looking washed. You know, I think he's just depressed, you know? His team sucks. He's going to go through another year of not making the playoffs. I mean, how many years does he have left? What the hell happened to Kubalik? Either. Kubalik's a bum. Henry Dice says I went for Avs team total under 3.5. I'm kind of scared, but Fleury will show up tonight. I think it's a very interesting look. You know what? I think this is a mistake, probably. I'm going to keep some question marks by Avs minus 1.5. Okay, let's keep rolling. The whole idea is, you know what? I shouldn't take the Blackhawks have been outscored 11-2 in the last 2 games, and I'm going to bet against them. See, these are the things that we need to stop doing as a group. Sell high, buy low. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the card. 9 p.m. Eastern. Winnipeg Jets 15, 11, and 5. Ooh. Sorry, I'm excited. Okay. Winnipeg Jets at Arizona Coyotes 15, 11, and 5, 5, 5, and 4 on the road at the Coyotes, 6, 21, and 3, 2, 10, and 1 at home. We're at Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Hellebuck 12, 9, and 4, 2.74 goals against average, 9.15 save percentage this year. Against Scotty Wedgwood, 4, 9, and 3, 3.33 goals against average, 8.94 save percentage. Winnipeg's power play at 20.8%, penalty killing at just 70.9%. Terrible. Arizona power play at 14.7%. Their penalty killing at 71%. Jets coming off their second straight win, 5-4 at Vegas on Sunday in their first game since the break. No Blake Wheeler, no Evgeny Svechnikov, and no David Gustafsson, all out due to injuries. Kyle Connors carried the load offensively for these Jets, 19 goals, 15 assists, 34 points in 31 games. The Yotes coming off a wild 8-7 overtime loss to San Jose back on Tuesday the 28th. So they could get Jacob Chikrin back from injury. And they have 5 players, just 5 players with double-digit points. I mean, they're led by Clayton Keller and Phil Kessel. I mean, imagine if your forwards are led by Clayton Keller and Phil Kessel. I mean, how easy are you to play against? Now, those guys can score, but man. Clint says, my Yotes are too young and dumb to know when to stop, and they're firing. I feel an over in this spot. Satsi says, I remember the last game, Jets, Birdie, and I think Jimmy bet Coyotes, and then they won. Okay, yeah, I can't remember that offhand. It's been a nice little break. I'll tell you that much. Nice little break. Jets, Yotes. Let's take a look at the market here that we're dealing with. The Jets open up at minus 180, 40-cent move towards them, minus 220. They're just not that good of a hockey team. Henry Dice likes Jets team total over 3.5. I get that with Wedgwood and goal, but I don't know. I don't want anything to do with it. Then what are the Coyotes going to give you there? A fresh squad? I don't know. Do they get Chikrin back? Are the Jets going to be amped up with 1,000 people in the stands? All right. Let's move on to your next spot on the board. 10 p.m. Eastern, Nashville Predators at Vegas Golden Knights. And we have come to the Say Hey play of the day. The Say Hey play of the day from our man, Jose Bouquet, who's been running very hot. Jose, my man, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing well. Can't complain. Doing some research early in the morning. Happy to see you back. Happy to see you in Canada. That was nice to see as well. And I do have some. Hold on, I have to appropriately introduce this next comment. I'm not shaving for a little while, so the mustache might be back.
Oh, Jesus. And what's that about?
There's no particular reason, I mean, I did lose a significant amount of money on the Chiefs money line this week. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just trying to become a man. Who knows?
Well, they both work. Jose, Predators, Golden Knights. Let's break this down. T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. UC Cerro, 16-9-1, 2.24 goals against average, 9.25 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Big shout out to Birdie for understanding that this was a Predator team that was about to fire. It shocked me. Absolutely shocked me that this is a Predators team that's playing so well. They've received so much more than I expected from Matt Duchene. 5 goals, 24 assists, 29 points in 31 games. Ryan Johnson, 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points in 30 games. Just shocking to me. Roman Josi having another Norris-worthy season, 11 goals, 19 assists in 31 games, plus 7. He has 14 power play points. This is a healthy group. They snapped their 2-game losing streak since the break with a 6-1 win at home over Chicago on Saturday. Vegas had their 2-game post-break winning streak snapped in a 5-4 loss lost at home to the Jets on Sunday. They're dealing with a ton of injuries. That China doll Pacioretty is hurt again. So is Captain Mark Stone, who's very close to coming back. I don't think he's going to be in the lineup tonight. Nicholas Hague, a defenseman, and goaltender Robin Lehner are also out with injuries, which means that it is the Laurent Brossoit show. Chandler Stevenson's been so good this year. 10 goals, 24 assists, 34 points in 34 games played, and he's a +9. Mr. Ghost says Saros ain't the same on the road and versus Knights at home. Look out. Lehner, I can't trust too. I don't think Lehner's hurt, so it's going to be Brossoit again. Here, take it away, Jose. How are you getting paid?
Well, I was doing some research, and it seems like everyone in the chat is on the same thing I'm on. We do have Lehner is hurt. I don't know how to say the Golden Knights goal. You've been saying it perfectly. You've been saying it almost, very French-like.
C'est avec beaucoup de fierté que j'ai accepté le rôle de vice-président des opérations hockey avec les Canadiens de Montreal.
So you've been saying it very well, and I just want to remind everyone this is a Florida Panthers, a Nashville Predators team with a 6th ranked power play in the league. Against a backup goalie. I was going to take the over as well with everyone. 5.5 right now. It's at -125. So juicy. But I'm gonna take it -125 on Bovada. I'm sure if you look somewhere else, you can find better odds. But Jim, I'm not as concerned about the odds because of course it's going to hit. So I'm going to work it. It's going to be fine. So I think that Nashville's goalie UC Saros. By the way, I know him. By the way, if you give me $100 million to spell his name correctly, would never do it. Never do it. He is theoretically good. I was looking at all these things. Everyone's like hyping him up. Oh, the Nashville's goals against is so good. And then last time out, 5 goals against his Vegas squad. I'm sure he'll play better than that, but give me 3. Sure, I'll take 3, and then I'm sure the other side can give me the 3 other ones that I need, and give me the dub.
Over 5.5. What was the juice that you got it at?
-125.
Okay, yeah, it's -127 at Pinnacle, so it's 6 at a bunch of books right now. Over 5.5 at -127 for Jose Bouquet. I don't believe that this Predators team is quite as good as they've shown that they are, but I'm not going to fade them. And I still am uncomfortable fading Vegas at home.
Why don't you believe in the Predators, Jim?
Because I know who Ryan Johansson and Matt Duchene really are. I know who
are they?
They're little bitches. They're not team first hockey players, and they've disappointed me throughout their careers. Now, look, they're trying to continue their careers, and I give them a ton of respect for that. They've let us down a year for 3 years, completely let us down. And now they're digging deep, and I give them respect for that. But I know who they really are.
Are they in the Taylor Hall category for you?
Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are. Yes.
How's my boy doing this year, by the way?
Poorly. I believe he has 16 points. I mean, that's just off the top of my head, but he's doing poorly.
Let's blame Pasternak for that.
And we have the taint play of the day is in, and Clint and Blue Balls play of the day is over 5.5. So with the Coyotes, and taint play of the day is in Kansas -6.5 in NCAA basketball. I'm not going to move on this game, but
it's against Oklahoma State. That hurts.
I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move on.
Well, Jim, everyone in the chat and myself are all on the over. It's a very juicy over. I can understand why you wouldn't move on it, Jim, but here's why you should move on it, Jim.
Sure.
Because I'm a winning capper.
You are.
I'm a winning capper that's double-digit units up. And what better way to ring in the new year, Jim, than you and I rolling this bet? Nashville scored a bunch of goals. Vegas winning.
That's how I want to ring in the new year, by pulling him off of the screen. I will cheer for him. But that's how I would prefer to ring in the new year, by just mid-conversation, rip him right off of the show. Over 5.5 at -125 for Jose Bouquet in Predators, Vegas Golden Knights. All right, let's move on to 10 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Flyers 13-13 and 6, 7-7-4 on the road at Anaheim Ducks 17-11 and 7, 10-4 and 4 at home. Honda Center in Anaheim, California. We have Carter Hart going up against John Gibson. Hart 7-8 and 4, and there's TrotWam in the chat. He's going to be joining us right now. We are moving on to NBA right there. And Dennis says Jose lasted longer than I thought. So it was a good move. It was a good move. All right, Philadelphia power play 16.1%, penalty killing 81.4%, and Ryan Ellis isn't coming back to save this power play. He's off the COVID list, but he's still got that LBI he's dealing with. Anaheim 26.9% power play, 85.4% penalty killing. There's Maurice Walker on the Ducks. There's Foxy in the house. Happy New Year to you, my guy. Okay, so Flyers coming off their second straight loss, 6-3 at the Kings on Saturday night. I don't know how anybody could back these Philadelphia Flyers. I tell you that much. Derek Brassard not with the team. He's been dealing with a COVID and a lower body injury, but he was expected to join his teammates when he was cleared from COVID-19 protocol, but he won't. He's staying on the East Coast for now, and he's been much better than I expected him to be this year. Then you have Sean Couturier week to week with an upper body injury. You take those two centers out of the lineup, and who do you have left? The problem is the Ducks come in as losers of 4 straight. They've been better than they've looked. They weren't very good in that Canucks game, but they played better in that Colorado game. They were last seen a 4-2 loss at Colorado on Sunday. Zegras isn't ready to return to the lineup yet. He's been in COVID protocol since December 27th. He's a great young hockey player. So this guy was rookie of the month in December, 11 points in 9 games. And you have Ryan Getzlaf and Derek Grant, 2 centers on the COVID list. So I don't see how you back the Ducks either. So at this point, I don't want anything to do with the Ducks, and I don't want anything to do with the Flyers. So you have to stay off of it. And that's what I'm going to do, is stay off of it. So let's review this card. I don't see how we don't move on the Devils. I really don't. And the over 5.5 makes sense to me in the New Jersey Bruins, but I have a poor ROI and overs in TD Garden. So then the Flames is another plus money spot that makes sense to me. Panthers without Reinhart, Marchment, and Bennett. Johnny K says Comtois, Lundstrom, and Terry going to be good tonight. Comtois, what's he have? 2 points on the season? I mean, if we're expecting him to be, I don't know. Lightning Jackets off. At this point, that looks like my only spot. I think the Avs are going to beat the Blackhawks by more than a goal, but do you really? I mean, the Blackhawks got to be playing better than they played. Tommy says the Devils play a lot of overs. And then Jose is on the over 5.5 in Predators Vegas. Clint says Devils last season, 7 to 8 games with the Bruins went to a 1-goal game. Devils plus 1.5 is the play day. They go to OT or play extremely close. I will likely play the money line and the plus 1.5. Interesting. All right, there is the NHL card. So I got to stay off the Avs at minus 1.5. I just know that it's not the right time to bet against the Blackhawks when they've been so bad. If that makes any sense. Then the Devils and Flames, all you need is one of them to win, the cash, and then the over 5.5. Is that going to be my 3 looks in NHL? Possibly. All right, let's move on to the National Basketball Association with our expert coming to us live from Long Beach, California. I didn't get to have enough time with him when I was in LA, but we'll change that in San Antonio. Please welcome to the show, Wham Bam in the house. Wham, what's happening, my man?
Man, I'm feeling good, Jimmy, man. It's good to be back, man. Good to see you back home safe, bro. Just like my guy Jose said as well, but I'm glad the way you cut him off, too. That was funny as hell, bro.
Thank you. I would much rather still be in LA. I tell you that much. Ski Prophet says, when in San Antonio, it's going to be the last 2 weeks of March. It may end up over 3 weeks. We're going to finalize the dates very, very soon. But Big Boss is going to come in on that weekend of the 25th. That's a for sure weekend. For sure. So we're going to lock everything in soon and see what we can hook up to, like with hotels and stuff like that. We're going to work on see what we can hook up, but we're very excited about it. I'll be down for 2 weeks, 2 full weeks, 14 days. Okay, Wham Bam. Let's get to work, my man. First off, Happy New Year. It is great to see you. I wish I had more time hanging with you. Bon Kuki says, nice call on Kuzma. Had me to the window by the half.
Let's get it. Let's keep going.
There's Eric Thomas in the house. All right, we begin with this Memphis Grizzlies Cleveland Cavaliers spot. Let's move over to NBA here and get the market with spreads.
Such an exciting game, bro. Such an exciting game. I'm glad you're starting off with this one.
It is a good-looking spot, and the Cavaliers are 2.5-point favorites, and we've already heard, despite the second half of a back-to-back, we have Dan Kelly fading his Cleveland Cavaliers on the Memphis Grizzlies. Jordy Nordman says, make sure you eat some good Texas barbecue. Oh, man, you know that. Will happen for sure. Okay. And Christopher Comteens to San Antonio, that was an interesting choice. It's because that's where the Southtown 101 is. That's where Slaughter's Bar is. And none of us would be here working together if it wasn't for that bar and the success of that bar. So let's go get drunk in that bar and support that bar. Okay, Memphis Grizzlies, 24-14, 11-6 on the road at Cleveland Cavaliers, 21-16, 11-8 at home. We're Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Memphis, 5-0, going for their sixth straight winning streak. They're past 5-0, 14th. Or sixth straight game. I'm not thinking clearly. 14th in pace, 98.70 possessions a game. Cleveland 2-3, 20th in pace at 97.70 possessions a game. Let's move over to NBA and take a look at where the market is. 5,018 tickets in, and 28% of the tickets on the Cavs and 88% of the cash. Wow. But not Dan Kelly's money. 48% of tickets on the over and 99% of cash on the over. Grizzlies are on the second half of a back-to-back. 118-104 at Brooklyn last night. Ja, 18 of his 36 points in the third quarter. Western Conference Player of the Week, reigning Western Conference Player of the Week. 14-22 from the floor, 8 assists, 30 points in 4 straight games. Desmond Bane, 5 threes, 29 points on Monday night. They won 15 of 19 games. Cavs snapped their 3-game losing streak, 108-104 at home versus Pacers on Sunday. Jared Allen, 18-11. Mobley has been rolling since coming back from the health and safety protocols due to COVID. He's 20.8 points, 63.3% from the field. Isaac Okoro is out for 2 to 3 weeks after a left elbow sprain. And, of course, they're dealing with injuries. And because of the injuries and the very, very ugly injury with the ACL, they've brought in Rajon Rondo. So Rajon Rondo is in, I believe he will be playing this evening. But too bad. It's too bad because this Cleveland team had so much depth at guard, and Ricky Rubio was a big reason for that. Now he's done for the year. Dennis Garcia says, lean Cleveland, not betting it. Wham! Take it away. Our NBA expert is here. Grizzlies, Cavs.
Now, we've seen Memphis, what they did yesterday. They're coming off a back-to-back. You know, they established very much points in the paint. Great dunk by John Morant. John Morant is on a tear right now, and that's definitely noted. These two teams played already. It was the first game of the season where the Memphis Grizzlies won 132-121 in that game. You didn't really have established Kevin Love, who's been cooking. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to give it to him. He's been dropping dubs left and right, doing his thing in the prop market as well. And then you didn't have the emergence of I believe it was Luke. I believe it was marketing in that game, if I'm not mistaken. I know Evan Mobley had a great game, and Jared Allen had a great game. Jared Allen shot 100% in the last game, and I believe in this game they had Milton, and they also had another player that they're not going to have tonight. I think Memphis probably isn't the spot here, even though you see what they did. They had 70 points in the paint in this game against the Cavs in the first game of the Cavs. You see what they did in the paint against Brooklyn. They're averaging 63 points in the paint over the last 5 games. So I don't take Memphis likely here. I just don't want to fade this Cavs team. And honestly, they've been pretty much rock solid at home, 15-4 against the spread. You just don't want to go against this team, especially if they're getting Darius Garland back. If they're getting Darius Garland back, that's the piece of the puzzle here. He practiced, most likely probable for this game. I think he's going to play here. So so I like the Cavs, honestly. I like the Cavs here. It's just did I bet this game? No, I didn't, but this is the game that I'm leaning here. I'm leaning towards the Cavs for sure.
Leaning towards the Cavs. So we have Garland's been out. He hasn't missed that. How many games has he missed? I believe I don't have it offhand, but it hasn't been out for that long.
Like four or five, maybe four.
So now you don't have Rubio as being that calming presence coming off the bench, and you have a Grizzlies team that wants to keep winning. And the Cavs did not look good against the Pacers team that's been hammered with COVID.
Mhm.
So the reason why you wouldn't bet the Grizzlies is because that was a huge win at Brooklyn, with all eyes on them spot. Is that why we wouldn't back the Grizzlies to do it again?
So I'll even pull it back a little deeper. Like, I watched the game last night. It seemed like, it was a terrible game for Jared Jackson Jr. for sure. He was frustrated up and down the court throughout the game. So I can see him having a bounce back spot. If I lay of any positivity towards the Memphis Grizzlies here, as far as thinking here, I just don't think that they're going to be able to do it. Back-to-back games on the road here against a Cavs team that's been really good on the road, and they're getting their guy back. And this guy is going to set up everybody. I like Darius Garland and the props. They're not giving it available yet. We got to see what number that is, because Darius Garland prop maybe even the biggest play for me in this game, because I do think that he's going to distribute the ball through the players. As far as Evan Mobley, I think he's going to have another great game. And, yeah, man, it just seemed like this team is pretty much well constructed, and I like the way that, some guys are stepping up as far as like Kevin Love, marketing, and I know Coral sucks on the defensive end, bro. That's a big blow there, but on the other opposite side, they got their trees back, so I like them to hold down the paint here. That's the main point of this strategy here, is that all these points that have been averaging in the paint, 63 points, that may get a little bit less here in this game, and that's possibly the reason why they cover and win here for the Cavs.
Nothing official, though. Possible Darius Garland prop for you?
For sure.
Possible? Okay.
Yeah, it's not open yet, but so can we?
Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. You can catch all these guys: Key Profit, Dutchy, Babano, our guy Wham Bam, all on our NBA show at 4 p.m. Eastern today. All right, okay. So let me ask you this before we move on. Dan Kelly, who watches this Cavaliers team nonstop, is on the Grizzlies money line. Could you give me why you think he's on that? Now, I know you like the Cavs, but can you give me the other side of the story?
They're cooking, man. I mean, they're averaging all these points in the paint. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing their due diligence. And as far as like Ja, he's actually shooting well from the three. He's pretty much doing everything. And Desmond Bane, he's dropping 20 points, 5 threes, like you said in the last game. You can see them actually having a great game today, too. I just don't think that they're going to be able to have that level of success in the paint with these guys down low. That's my main point. But as far as like the Grizzlies, you think they're going to cook. You think they're going to be able to score in the paint. You think they're going to be able to, find a scheme here to pull it off here. But, I think they're missing a couple guys. But neither near nor there. I think that's the point for the Grizzlies, though, man. It's just, they're going to be able to score in the paint.
All right, and you think that Garland can just roll just like Mobley did because they're young guys?
I mean,
who cares?
He's already shown it. He already shown it. He's like one of those elite type guys. You know what I mean? Like, I think, he's forming to that type of star that you're going to hear a lot of people more talking about. And, hopefully we cash this most improved player at plus 220. So maybe I'm a little biased there, bro. But I think he's going to go in.
We have Ick Schnizzle on the Grizz. So just so everybody's aware, we have Dan Kelly and Ick Schnizzle, two Cleveland guys. I know that Dan Kelly doesn't live in Cleveland anymore, but two guys that know this Cleveland team inside and out. Ick Schnizzle leaning towards the Grizz and Dan Kelly on the Grizz. Okay, let's roll on. Next spot, 7 p.m. Eastern. San Antonio Spurs, 14-21, 7-11 on the road. Toronto Raptors, 16-17, 9-10 at home at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. It's Spurs 2-3, first in pace over the past 5 at 104.52 possessions a game. Toronto 3-2, healthy again, 12th in pace at 99.00 possessions a game, and nobody will be there to watch them. Nobody will be there to watch them tonight. Empty arena. And if you're wondering why NHL is not doing that either, is because NHL needs the gate. Our TV contracts aren't big enough. We need the gate, and so shut down. But I tell you what, and the interesting thing here for you guys who are NHL fans, if I was Gary Bettman, the governments of Canada who are screwing everybody over would be enough for me not to award Quebec a hockey team. I would not award Quebec a hockey team. I do not want to deal with the Canadian government any more than I have to. And the next team that I would give a franchise to would be from America because of how shit our governments are up here. That's a side note. But one I do believe in. I think that the bullshit from our government is going to cost Quebec, a hockey team. All right, Spurs Raptors here. Let's move over to the market here. We have the Raptors opening up. Oh, I don't know. Let me just do their opening. Sorry, they opened up at -5.5. They're now at -7. And from a total perspective, it opened up at 221.5 and it shot all the way up to 224.5. And that is at bet 365. Nizzle says I lean the Raps in this spot. Let's move over to the cash flow here. We have the 4,072 tickets in, 80% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the Raptors. Then we have 71% of the tickets, 99% cash on the over. Spurs are well rested. They come in off their third straight loss, 117-116 in overtime at Detroit on Saturday. That was January 1st. Bryn Forbes led the Spurs with 27 points off the bench, but they're without Lonnie Walker, Doug McBuckets, and DeWante Murray because of COVID-19 protocols. Raptors coming off their second straight win, 120-105 at home over the Knicks on Sunday. Van Fleet, 35 points and didn't play the fourth. What a boss. And he's got 66 points in his 2 games since coming off of COVID protocols. I mean, isn't that enough? For when these guys are coming off of COVID and they're ready to go right away. I mean,
Right.
Isn't that enough of a message to everybody that it's just the flu and let's keep our society moving? Siakam,
Right.
20 points and 14 boards. Raptors are a healthy group for the first time in a long time. By the way, Ella's not going to school. That's all shut down. So they
Damn.
start up tomorrow, and who knows how these shows are going to pop off. With
That shit is stressful, bro. Like, why did they do shit like that? That shit is annoying, bro. But like my guy Ski said, our government isn't great. They're probably gonna lock us down too, bro. So some shit over here too.
Bloods W. Loshak is traveling. He's traveling, not making eye
Shout out to
contact with
Loshak.
anybody, but traveling, and he'll be with us next Tuesday. All right, take it away here. Wham bam, Spurs Raptors.
Yeah, man. Spurs covered 5 straight home games. They're getting healthy, like you said. I don't want to go against this Spurs team. They were looking pretty good. I think I was seeing 7s out there for the Spurs. Money's obviously coming in on the Spurs. I think that is the right side there. This is the first matchup for the season for these two teams too, as well. So you don't really necessarily get to see what the disparity and matchup between these two teams as far as athletic wise. I've seen this team in the Spurs give up second chance points. They're actually ranked dead last in second chance points given two teams over the last 5 games, averaging about 19.4. Just giving it a lot of offensive rebounds as well. I think this is a long, lengthy team that's finally getting healthy with the Raptors. They'll most likely probably be able to hold it down here. Also, the one thing to point out, though, is that the Spurs are number 2 in points in the paint over the last 5 games, averaging about 58 points. The Raptors, they're allowing just about 41 points in the paint. So you think they'll be able to kind of isolate them a little bit there as far as what I'm thinking is the length advantage and defensive-wise. I do think Scotty Barnes does make a 3 tonight. I think they're giving out a half a 3. For all you got to do is make 1 to cash there. I think that is a good look. It's most likely super juiced, though, so you may want to get the 1.5 or maybe possibly to the 2. I think he turns into a jump shooter today. And then also as far as the San Antonio Spurs, I believe that they are a good fast break point team. They are the fastest pace, like you mentioned. So they're going to keep those possessions up there. They're also allowing opponents, I believe, the most field goal attempts tied, I believe, for the most field goal attempts, about 96.4 field goal attempts over the last 5 games. So they're going to get their chances here. I think the over is a good play here because you're going to see the pace in this game, and I think you're going to see these guys be a little bit more efficient because of the matchup disparity. So I do like the Raptors full game to come out here and win cover here. But it's just one of those things, though. It's like them being at home with nobody, that kind of just drives me kind of crazy, though, bro. Like I want to ask you this as well because I want to lock in this -6, or if we could get the 6.5 or something around there. I do want to lock this in. But I want to ask you this question before I do that, and I'm glad you got the Raptors championship hat on as well, giving me good vibes there, bro. You feel me? But as far as this game, like, how do you think that is the psyche of your guys? Like, they're out there playing, like you said, in other sports, they have to have the people come, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's such a question mark. So one thing is clear is these guys are back and healthy and feeling good about themselves and getting Scotty Barnes back too. I mean, they're the team that we thought we'd have all year. But how are they going to react to playing in an empty arena? You know,
Well, they
I
already
don't
did
know.
it. You know, they looked pretty all right, but it's just like, you know, this is a good game. But I like the Spurs here. I mean, I like the Raptors here. This is most likely going to be an official play for me. But again, I haven't made this bet yet. I did make some bets on the next later games here, but I haven't made this bet yet. This is the way I'm leaning here.
Viper like in the over, Foxy on the under in this spot. Rodney Barton says Van Fleet over 20.5, OG under assist, and Keldon Johnson under in rebounds for Rodney Barton. Ski Profit leaning over for Siakam props.
Yeah, I feel that too.
And then
He was cooking, man.
And then Dennis Garcia says, I don't trust the Raptors in this point spread range, which I completely understand. Yeah, Defin, nothing to worry about with Pete getting a little sunshine. That's all. He'll be back in action with us and a lot. We love him. So don't worry about our guy Pete. Ixnizzle said, I'm not a fan of laying that many points for the Raps, but I do like the Raps night. Whenever they get fans back, look to back the Raps at home. And then Sammy Comer says Raps also have the Bucks on the road tomorrow night, which is a important,
very interesting
point. So yeah, I don't. Oh, and another thing though that Dan Kelly mentioned that I just want to mention in that game that we saw in the Cavs Pacers game, Dan said that, and he came back to let us know this. He said that when Okoro went down, it was some of the very worst guard play he'd ever seen in the NBA. Now that will change with Darius Garland back in the lineup, but Bon Quigley says Siakam assists have been cashing. Let's go. Brandon says I'll pipe in crowd noise. Okay,
not a big fan of Pargos.
No, Pangos.
Pangos, yeah, Pangos. Yeah. I call them Pargos, bro.
We love Canadians, but to some extent, not just backing Canadians blindly here.
Got you.
But it's been fun watching him play. We've been watching him play since he was 14. So it's nice to see him out there. Spurs Raptors. I'm not going to move on it. Are you going to move on? Oh, and Dan Kelly says Indiana's backcourt is atrocious. Also, are you going to move on it, Wham?
Not officially right now because I haven't bet that game yet, but it'll be added to my card here that I'll tweet out later on.
And T-Mac is on the Spurs +7, so he's on the other side. All right, let's keep rolling. Next up, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Indiana Pacers 14-23, 3-14 on the road at New York Knicks 17-20, 7-11 at home. Madison Square Garden, New York. Indiana in the last 5, 1-4, 18th in pace at 98.10 possessions a game, while the Knicks are 3-2, 29th in pace at 95 possessions a game. We have these Knicks sitting at 2.5. They opened as 1.5 point favorites at home. That went down to 1 initially. The first move was towards the Pacers, and then 1.5, 2, and 2.5. And this is all at Bet365. From a totals perspective, opened up at 209.5 and is down to 207. We go over to the cash flow in this spot. We see 3,480 tickets in, 69% of the tickets on the Knicks, 82% of the cash on the New York Knicks. And then we see 52% of tickets on the over, 99% cash on the over, which is interesting. And T-Mac says Knicks very good when the spread is 1-2. Again, T-Mac, who's from Ontario, watches Raptors inside and out, is on the Spurs in the spot. Interesting.
I could take it.
Pacers
That's
coming
very
off their
interesting.
fourth. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that game. Pacers coming off their 4th straight loss, 108-104 at the Cavs on Sunday. 4th straight loss for the Pacers. 7 players in COVID-19 protocol. Bedadzi and Levert were added prior to the game on Sunday. Brogdon, Duarte, Jackson, Jeremy Lamb, Keelan Martin are also in the protocol. Knicks coming off their 2nd straight loss, 120-105 at the Raptors on Sunday. Mitchell Robinson entered the health and safety protocol Saturday. Julius Randle sidelined as well. 3 assistant coaches are in protocol. Derrick Rose out until at least mid-February following ankle surgery. Kemba Walker, who's started to look like he can play again, has missed the last 2 games with a left knee injury. Jared TG says 2 fade teams. How are you hammering this spot, Pacers-Knicks?
2 fade teams, man. That's crazy, bro. I don't think so. I think the Knicks are definitely live in this spot, man. The Pacers just trash. My guy Ski says it. They on the NBA list, the never bet again list, bro. You never want to bet against the Pacers here. I think the Knicks are actually becoming somewhat of backable. Most likely going to get Mitchell Robinson back. You know what we did last time with a double-double. I low-key want to go back to that as well here. I think he's one of those guys that's going to allow these guys to kind of be established in the paint here in this game. So that's going to help isolate other guys like Sabonis. That's what you're looking for as far as what the Knicks is going to bring here. And then also you got Julius Randle. He did clear protocols, but he questionable here. May not play. I would be surprised if he's playing in this game, but if he is playing in the game, you may be getting a better number betting it now. This is a game that I definitely probably will. We will be adding on to the card here. It's the Knicks -3. I think the Knicks is probably live here in this spot. They've just been playing at a slow pace for sure, like you mentioned, I believe. And then as far as what they allowing opponents to, 40% shooting over the last 5 games, which is ranked second in the league there as far as what type of defense they've been holding on to opponents. And then I think they're getting guys back as well, like Mitchell Robinson. It's going to allow them to kind of keep everybody in fluidity there. I like Grimes. I like the other kid. I'm sorry. I like what you're seeing from Burks now that you see Kibble Walker out of the lineup as well. Let's mention that he's not going to be playing, I believe, in this game if I'm not mistaken. So you're kind of missing out on points there. But I do think that the Knicks are still going to be able to outscore this Pacers team. And this Pacers, man, they're just really inconsistent, not playing really well right now. And do I think they are going to be able to do anything down low? No, that's the reason why I think this is a good spot for the Knicks. And I like the Knicks. I'll take that as far as -3 as official play.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree and see why you like them. Randall has just cleared protocols, but it says could play tonight.
Right.
Could play. It's not will play. Callista is questionable, but they need him back badly. They're averaging 92.5 points per game in the 2 games that he's missed. Get Obi Toppin back on the bench. Look at this depth chart for the Pacers. It's atrocious. I mean, I don't see why we don't move on these Knicks right now. Let me just pull up Pinnacle and see what I can get you, because I imagine I'll be able to get better than what we're dealing with here. Let me just move over to Pinnacle here, basketball. I'll also take a look at Circa. But we have the Knicks -2.5 at -109. I mean, that seems like the play. Mark Hunkerford says players hate their coach. Imagine Carlisle thinking that. We've heard all the news about what some of the things that he did in Dallas, so it's taken a lot of the shine off of him. But man, who would have thought that it would be this awful in Indiana? Yeah, I agree. I think that this Pacers team with all the injuries at the guard spot are just a fade. So, do you want me to lock you in as an official pick for Knicks?
For the Knicks, I'll take the Knicks -3 as an official pick for sure.
I can
but
get
as far as the
2.5 -109.
2.5, that's even better. That's even better. But as far as the Robinson, I may be staying away from Robinson props on this game because I got the full game here. But most likely, I like the 3. I like the 3 here just because I think the fade, like you said, the Pacers are a fade right now, and I think that they're going to be able to play a little bit better here. As far as what you're seeing from the Knicks, they've been shooting really bad over the last 3 games. They get back to form against this weak team.
I like it. Knicks -2.5 -109. That's available at Pinnacle. No, Silver Malco. Max will be back in action with us tomorrow. Not today. He needed a day today, so he'll be back in action. But we are going to break down NCAA football next. Dan Kelly said last week I saw one of the talking head touts say the Knicks were a bet when Randall went down. So I was shaking my head and fading. His rationale was the bench was going to step up. I like this look. I'm going to tail it. The Pacers are just a train wreck. And as long as you got Alec Burks healthy, at least you have guard play from the Knicks. Let's move on to 8 p.m. Eastern. Phoenix Suns at New Orleans Pelicans. Suns 28-8, 12-4 on the road. Pelicans 13-24, 7-10 at home with the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. Phoenix 2-3 over their past 5, 13th in pace at 98.90 possessions a game. Pelicans 2-3, 7th in pace at 100.30 possessions a game. We have, and then Razor says line seems low at -1. That's because Randall was supposed to be out, and he still may be out. I hear you. But they looked so bad the last 2 games without Randall. I think it's going to keep moving. Okay. And then THC's Razor says that Knicks were covering when Randall went down, but it's a fate of the Pacers more than liking the Knicks. I agree with that breakdown. Phoenix opening up, or I should say is at -7 right now. They opened up at -6.5. That got up to 8.5. And now they are back at -7. Back at -7.
Yeah, this game is interesting, bro.
Yeah, we have this Suns team coming off that 133-99 beatdown at Charlotte on Sunday, second win in 3 games. But all these COVID issues, no Monty Williams, no DeAndre Ayton, no Jay Crowder, no JaVale McGee, no Abdel Nader, and they still wrecked shop. Chris Paul just playing so consistent. So we don't know if anyone will come back. And you imagine that if they're going to come back, they'll come back at home. Jalen Smith came in 19 points and 12 boards against Charlotte. Pelicans are on the second half of back-to-back after their second straight loss, 115-104 at home versus the Jazz last night. They got Ingram and Valanciunas back on Monday. Valanciunas coming back from 1 game suspension, or excuse me, 1 game absence, was in health and safety protocol, 25 points. And Ingram looked terrible. 1 of 7 from threes, dealing with the Achilles injury, Achilles soreness, 10 points, 3 of 18 from the field. The Pelicans were 12 of 46 from 3, and we're in that game. Let's just take a look at where the cash lies in this spot. 5,245 tickets in, 88% of tickets, 90% of cash on the Suns. And then you have 79% of tickets on the over and 36% of cash on the over. Can the Suns possibly do it again here with this underwhelming lineup?
Yeah, you know what? The Suns with this underwhelming lineup, that's a very great point right there. I like the way you said that. I think that's the reason why the line is moving like that, because people are aware of that. These guys are pretty much, gassed out, you'll say. Let's say they gassed out. They went on a crazy streak and found out it was meaningless. And, oh, yeah, let's still try to, preserve guys. So you're seeing that right now from the Suns. I think they're kind of coasting here in this game. I would expect the Pelicans to kind of continue to play pretty well. They went over their team total the last 5 games. You know what I mean? So you're seeing them playing pretty well as far as scoring the ball. You're getting one of your guys back, like you mentioned, as far as Ingram. You need to dust off the feathers there. So I give him a pass there for having the 10 points. Give him a little pass there, but I think he plays a little bit better against maybe even tougher defenders here against the Suns. So I think you like I still like this team total here for the Pelicans. I believe you're getting that. Let me see. I didn't look at the actual. My apologies, you guys. I think you're getting about 107, if I'm not mistaken. 107 and a half for the Pelicans. I think you can see points in this game, honestly. So you maybe want to just take the over here. But the Pelicans team total over seems like a good play here, in my opinion. I just think they're going to be able to score. You give Valanciunas and these guys maybe having a matchup disparity here. You said it, though. You got guys that, most likely will be on the G League roster playing really heavy minutes down low for them. I think you see that being exposed today against the Pelican team. As far as these shooters here, do I expect them to shoot a little bit better than what they have been? I kind of do here. As far as this team with the Suns, they've been playing really good defense over the last 5 games, averaging about 32% to opponents as far as rebounds there, and as far as the percentage where I'm sorry, I just looked at something totally different. It threw me off. My fault, bro.
All good, man.
Damn.
Well,
But yeah, my fault. The Suns. I just think that they fall off a little bit here. That's the reason why you're seeing the line movement here. But as far as the most thing I like in this game is the team total. I think it continues to streak on here, bro. Already hit 5 straight. I think he hits 6 for sure.
Do you want me to line shop for a team total?
I think I see 107 and a half though. That's where
Let me try and beat that here.
If we could beat that for sure. That'd be nice. But I think
Pinnacle team total. We have 107 and a half. Yeah, minus 118. What was the juice on yours?
That was 1 second. I think minus 118 is better. Okay, I think it was minus 120.
Okay, let me just check this one here very quickly. Yeah, it's 108 and a half over Bet365. Okay, okay, let's lock that in for when. Is that official?
That's official play.
Okay. Pelicans team total over 107 and a half at minus 117. Was it 117? Shit, sorry, I'm not thinking clearly.
My fault, yes.
118 minus 118. I think this is a spot where the Pelicans shot so poorly and that they should bounce back. The question is Ingram's issues with the Achilles, is he going to be better today, or is he going to –
that's a tough injury, bro. That's a tough injury for sure.
Let's see if we can get any update on Ingram here, because it's not like he just had a bad shooting day. Obviously, his Achilles was bothering him, and he just didn't look right. Let's just see if we can get an update on him here, because if I can trust him to be good or to be better. I mean, they were so lousy from 3, and they were in that game. Yeah,
I don't see him on any injury report or anything though.
But the second half of a back-to-back, there's James in the house. Great to see you, James. I don't know how to trust him on the second half of a back-to-back. That's my I mean, so he must be healthy if he's going to go. I think, I'm going to wait.
Good to go.
If he's good to go, and I'm going to move on the Pelicans, I think. I just feel like the Suns are going to fall back a little bit. They had, Ski was talking about Jalen Smith losing 50 pounds to Valanciunas. And Jared TG says, I don't know why Ingram is even playing with a hurt Achilles. I'm going to wait, but I completely understand your look here. THC's Wizards says Suns pace goes up without Ayton, and they will try to outrun the Pelicans, especially in the back-to-back. It's interesting that this total, let's just take another look at this total here. Wow, this total opened up at 217.5. It's gone up 6 points. Jesus. Okay.
That's what I say. I like the over too. It's just that I like the Pelicans in this game as well. So instead of taking the 0.7 and it's already been streaking, take the team total over.
Gark Ball
Plus
says
they've been allowing 111 points on the road. Sorry about that, Jimmy.
Oh no, it's all good, buddy. My bad. I was interrupting. Schnitzle leading to the under. Gark Ball says Suns win by 20 at least. Says y'all bugging. And Schnitzle leaning to the Pelicans as well. And Sammy leaning to the under. Okay, so we have a Wham Bam official play here on the Pelicans. All right, let's keep rolling. Next up for us, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, Sacramento Kings 16-22, 6-10 on the road. The LA Lakers 19-19, 12-10 at home. We're at Crypto.com in LA. Sacramento last 5, they're 3-2, 22nd in pace, 97.60 possessions a game, while the Lakers are 3-2, 8th in pace at 99.90 possessions a game. Let's just go to the opening and closing numbers here. Lakers sitting at -6.5. And they opened at that -6.5. Now, initially, money came in on the Lakers. This moved to 7.5, and it took just 13 minutes to move a point, 7.5. But then it came back down to 6.5. From a totals perspective, opened at 227.5 and is now up to 230. Ski Prophet says, Wham know what to do in this game. Let's go. Sacramento comes in off their third win in 4 games, 115-113 at home versus the Heat on Sunday. We have 51% of the tickets on the Kings and 99% of cash. Now, that's just 4,198 tickets in. So small sample size, but clearly big bets coming in on the Kings. Then from a total perspective, 72% of tickets are on the under, but all the cash is on the over. Eric Jones on Kings plus 6.5. So Kings got 26 from Buddy. They got 24 from DeAndre Fox. And, they look good. And they had that 6-game homestand that they just finished, and they're not traveling far here. But that homestand opened horribly with COVID issues, injury issues, weak lineups, and then finished strong. Almost a full healthy roster. Alvin Gentry back. The Lakers coming off their second straight win, 108-103 at home versus the Timberwolves on Sunday. LeBron James run of 30-point games and at 7 straight on Sunday. Still got a game-high 26. He's playing very, very good basketball. Very, very good basketball at a much older age. They did an interesting article in the LA Times about most players dipping at this age at 37, but not LeCroncron, man. He's rolling. All right, but Dennis Garcia says fade Lakers, washed King, he says. Take it away here. I can't wait for you to break this game down. Kings, Lakers, take it away.
Hey, Dennis seen what the fuck Russell Westbrook said, so I ain't gonna say too much about him on this breakdown here, because we definitely want positive outcome here for Russ in this game. I'm actually gonna go to this game, so I'm gonna be at this game here. It's gonna be very interesting. You know where we going. Y'all been following us here on the NBA Pub Hub. My guy Ski said in the chat, we don't know what to do. Yes, I do. It's gonna be Tyrese Halliburton over 9.5 assists. We hit them over the head last night at it, plus 123. Right now, you're getting plus 108. I'm sorry, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But it's still fly. You've still been hitting 8 out of the last 9 times. His double-double has been hitting at a crazy rate. Obviously, we're getting the best of it right now. They're catching up to the market. Tyrese Halliburton is definitely going to be that guy for the future here for the Sacramento Kings. I expect him to have a really good game in this game, honestly, against our team, my team, the Lakers. But I think the Lakers numbers kind of got out of reach. It was at 8. Now it's at 6.5. I do like the Lakers. I'm not going to lie. I did like the Kings at 8. Don't get me wrong. And I was thinking about sprinkling the money line. I'm right there with you, Dan Kelly. I was thinking about sprinkling the money line, walking into the new crypto, just sprinkling a little money line with my Jerry West jersey on, not giving a fuck. But I still got a little Kings action in my pocket. But honestly, the number probably got out of hand. I think this is what you normally would say, Jimmy. When everyone wants to go against the Lakers, this is when you do bet the Lakers. And I think the Lakers are definitely probably a good spot right now at 6.5. Even though you've seen them play countless times to their opponents, this is definitely one of those games they are going to be having to play to their opponent because they got their guys back. They got Reeves back. Reeves and they got rid of Rondo. They can't play with Stanley Johnson tonight. So I do think the points may be here because he has been guarding the perimeter here. It's kind of like weird contract situation the NBA forced teams into right now. So it's a lot of those 10-day guys that can't really play or something shit like that, or as far as the contract before he be able to extend or whatever. But he's most likely going to be on the team, just not in this game. So as far as the Lakers, they may be a little bit lack of depth there on the wing side. But I do think that they'll still be able to cover here. LeBron's going to probably going to get back to the 30 points that he didn't have in the last game. You think he gets back into there in this game. Maybe Buddy Hield revenge game as well. I was mentioning that yesterday on the NBA Pub Hub. But the more I think about it, my guy got his last game. Buddy Hield got his last game. This is nothing to Buddy Hield, but Lakers probably going to stump him out tonight. I think it is lobster time. I think my guy Ski said it. Yeah, I don't know if your big boss told you he owes some lobsters, bro. He owes some lobsters because of the bubble championship. So every time the Lakers play, it's lobsters time when it's lobster time. So sorry, boss, it's lobster time, bro.
Oh man, dude, it's such a fun spot to go down and watch a basketball game tonight. I love it down there. Went to Fleming's.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man, this felt like such a baller, dude. It was just like, oh, man. Now I'm back in Parkdale. So that ended.
I love your Pops, man. Pops was hella smooth, bro.
Oh, it was cool. I was so happy you guys got to meet.
Yeah.
He really, really liked you. I knew it would. You guys are just like, because my dad's a real, by the script, tight dude, but you and Big Boss get around him and he's smiling and he's just you guys were great. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, we're gonna lock in Halliburton. Yeah, we're locking in Halliburton 9.5 assists plus money though. You're getting it,
and that's at plus 108 right now.
I believe that's maybe the best that we could get. I think that was the best we could get right now.
Halliburton over at 9.5 assists, and Dan Kelly on the Kings at plus 6.5 said that he does like Kings money line. He's also Grizz money line third quarter Memphis Cleveland over 55.5, Sacramento plus 6.5, and our guy Dan Kelly 30 and 25 in our chat. James S. Yes, we expect Garland to be back in action tonight, and so there we go. Wham Bam back in the house. Everything looking good. Background looking good. You got a new computer in this?
Nah, bro. It just maybe you need to come out here and need to touch you, and then it just worked. That's all it is.
Well, I love it, man. I love it. Thank you for rolling with us. Are you around to join us tomorrow?
Probably not because I gotta go pick up my kids tomorrow, so I'll be leaving after the game actually, and then going to get them. That way I can make the show tomorrow. Shit.
Okay, cool. No,
yeah, man.
Just love you, buddy. And so we're gonna set up San Antonio because I just didn't get enough time with you in Boston. I didn't get to hang with the fam, and
I'll try.
I would like to make sure that happens. Halliburton over 9.5 assists. Let's review Wham Bam's action here, and we'll go over everything here. So Grizzlies money line for Dan Kelly, a possible Darius Garland prop for Wham Bam in Grizzlies.
Assist prop too.
Oh, sorry,
my fault, bro.
Possible Darius Garland assist prop. Okay. Then thank you, Sammy. Much love. Happy New Year, my guy. And there's another capper I'd like to get on the show. Sammy Calmer, respect. Ik Schnizzle, I'd like to get on the show. There's a lot of guys in the chat that I would like to have on the show, part of the show as we move into 2022. So, and if any of you guys want to be on screen, we want to give you guys voices, and I think that's what makes our show special is you guys. So let me know. And Ski Profit says, "Oh shit, Jose better start saving up for all those steak dinners."
Damn,
Yeah,
that's true.
Man, our guy Jose, he owes us. Sadly,
You get a steak. You get a steak.
Everybody in the audience, now listen to me carefully, is being given a special package, and I don't want you to open it. Do not open it. Cameras are on you, so do not open until I tell you. All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
You get a steak. 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 Everybody gets a steak.
Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait to be in San Antonio eating steaks.
That's right.
By Jose Bouquet. Okay, so Spurs Raptors, no move for Wham yet. Wham's on the Knicks -2.5. I want in. I want in as soon as possible. Wham is on the Pelicans team total over 107.5 -118. I'm going to keep an eye on that spot and keep an eye on Ingram. I just wish they had a day off. And Halliburton over 9.5 assists at +108 for Wham, and Darren Kelly on the Sacramento Kings. There you have it. Brian Watson, Pete is on vacation. He'll be back next week with us. So he'll be back next with us on Tuesday. Wham Bam, thank you so much. Have a great basketball show today. I'll be watching. Follow our guy at Wham Bam on Twitter at TrotWam. And have fun at the game tonight with your wife, man. You guys deserve it. Enjoy it. And
appreciate you, bro. Most definitely.
Cash.
Hell yeah, let's get that cash, bro. Tyrese, man, let's get it.
There he is. Wham Bam in the house. All right, we go from NBA to NCAA football. We have just 2 games left. And this one is a fun cap. I enjoyed it immensely. The Tax Act Bowl. LSU Tigers 99 at Kansas State. Wildcats 7-5. Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. And let's get right to work and let's bring in your man who hands out steaks to all. This man hands out steaks to all. Let's bring Jose Bouquet back in action. Jose, my man, how are you? We already got your first look on the over 5.5 in Knights Predators. You're looking here at college football, Tax Act Bowl. Let's get to work. First off, let me set a table for you. And
will that table have steaks on it?
No. That's only when we're in San Antonio. You know what? I'm going to try to lay off steaks as much as possible, just so I can enjoy it that much more.
How do you get your steaks? How do you eat your steaks, Jim?
I've always done them rare, but I'm starting to lean towards medium rare. But I've always been a rare guy, but I'm starting to move to. How do you eat your steak?
Medium. Yeah, medium rare. I'm not gross like you and eat rare. That sounds disgusting.
Well, I'm a man, Jose, and then when you get older, maybe you'll find some of these qualities yourself. But if you ordered a medium steak with me, you get made fun of. That's all.
I mean, I'll be getting made fun of regardless, so might as well add that on there.
You're probably right. All right, let's get into this Tax Act Bowl. Let's start with LSU. Let's start with the market moves and the cash flow, and let's get paid. I've moved on this game. I moved on it last night. Now, I was late. I was late getting to the table with Kansas State, and a lot of you guys weren't. And we see 7.5s on the board now. That's good. I like that. It opened at 4.5, but getting these details about LSU's quarterback situation to start, and I'll break it down more, but that's why this huge move towards Kansas State. This total at 48 now at 47.5. I would like to see if this team total has changed at all. I was interested in adding the team total under for LSU. It was at 19.5, and it was juiced to the over, and that had me contemplating whether or not I should do it or not. Let's just move the team props here.
If it makes you feel better, I was about to say 20.5 at Bovada, under -150.
Holy shit. Wow, because it was -110 to the under, -120 to the over 19.5. Now it's -115, -115. North Ender got on Kansas State earlier in the week. Jared TG says, I make fun of people who eat rare steaks, so we can make fun of each other. Yeah, I get it. You guys make fun of men. I get it. Men are intimidating. You know, they stare you down and they eat steaks fucking rare, and that can be intimidating for others. All right, let's go. LSU. Oh, wait. First, let's go over to the cash flow here. We have 20,906 tickets in, 71% of the tickets on Kansas State, 90% of the cash, 54% of the tickets on the under, 50% of cash on the under. LSU finished the season strong. A narrow 2014 loss to Alabama was very impressive. Then they lose 16-13 at home in overtime to Arkansas. They had to win their 2 final games of the season to become bowl eligible. That's exactly what they did. They beat UL Monroe 27-14 at home before closing the season with a big 27-24 win at home over then number 15 ranked Texas A&M. With those 2 wins, they barely avoided their first losing campaign since 1999. Orgeron was fired, and he's going to be replaced by Brian Kelly, winningest head coach in the Irish's history. Brad Davis, who will be the offensive line coach when Kelly's staff, will be the coach of the team here. So Max Johnson was good this year. Top 5 in SEC in both passing yards and touchdowns, 2,814 yards, 27 touchdowns. He transferred to A&M. And then Max Nussmeier was expected to start in his place. Everybody thought he was going to start in his place, but he'd already played 4 games. The school requested a waiver from NCAA so he wouldn't lose his redshirt status should he play. The waiver was denied, and Nussmeier is still not in the lineup, which is confusing. It's almost as if they don't care. That leaves walk-ons Tavian Falk and Matt O'Dowd as the available quarterbacks. Neither is throwing a pass this year. They won't have their leading rusher, Davis Price, 1,003 yards, 6 touchdowns. He declared for the NFL draft. So they have a freshman, Corey Kiner, running the ball. On defense, neither of the team's leading tacklers, linebacker Damone Clark, opted out, and Micah Baskerville is not on the depth chart. So he's not going to be there. So they'll have their sacks leader. They'll have Ojulari. They'll have defensive tackles Mason Smith and Jacqueline Roy. But this is a real problem that has to be taken advantage of. I'll break down Kansas State here in a bit, but let's start with LSU, and then let's hear how Jose is betting this.
Yeah, no, I'm jumping on the bandwagon with everyone else. I think the term walk-on quarterback is not a recipe for success. I'll admit it. I don't know. Maybe SEC schools just have a 2-star good quarterbacks walking around on campus. But, I think I'll take Kansas State first half. Right now it's at -4, Jim. I think you got a better number than that. But -4, -110. It seems like it'll be Kansas State scoring and then probably nothing from LSU. I would be pretty shocked if LSU scored 2 touchdowns in this game. I think I will add the LSU team total under -150 on my card just for shits and gigs, because I'm confident that I can hit the first team total. What was it? The first over the NHL. I'm confident that's hitting. And then I think that Kansas State can get the job done early. So I'll take that team total under 20.5 -150. Shitty odds, but again, focusing on winning the bet.
Would you rather have that rather than 19.5? I know it's an important point.
I think I'd rather just take the 20.5. I'll swallow the -150, and college kickers, whatever happens. But we'll see. I'll take the 20 still. But yeah, first half Kansas State -4, and then LSU team total under 20.5 for sure.
Under 20.5. That's a lot of juice for that point.
Our boy Garlic Balls, by the way, LSU wins outright. Garlic Balls, great name. And shout out to Mr. Pussy Coffee.
Oh, where's Twat?
I don't know. Oh. I just hear him. You say his name often during the show, and whenever you say Twatty Latte, I always think Mr. Pussy Coffee. So shout out to Mr. Pussy Coffee.
Remmo says, why not the full game at -7? But answer that after I talk a little bit about Kansas State's situation here. They closed the season with a tough 2010 loss at home versus Baylor before losing 22-17 at Texas. Skylar Thompson left that game, the home finale, to Baylor with an ankle injury. Then he missed the game at Texas. He's back healthy, and this will be his final game of his Kansas State career. 141-205, 1,844 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Deuce Vaughn, top 10 nationally in all-purpose yards, and total touchdowns. He gained 1,246 yards and 15 scores on the ground. He also caught 47 passes. The Wildcats held teams to just 3.6 yards per rushing attempt in the regular season. So if LSU can't move the ball through the air, is that freshman going to be able to move the ball on the ground? I mean, I don't see how that's possible. Here, take it away, my man. Why are you not on the -7 full game?
I mean, I could put it on there, no problem. I feel confident about that. I have bet both of those, so I don't hate the -7, but I have 7.5 at my book. I'm sure that you guys could find 7. That's why I didn't bet the 7, just because I have a 7.5. But I like the 7 too. I think Kansas State's going to win this game. I mean, Jim, the only concern is that you said 90% of the money is on Kansas State. I mean, for good reason, obviously, but that's my only concern. And it seems like this might be the old classic. Everyone's on Kansas State, and then LSU's 5-star SEC athletes make a difference. But I think Kansas State wants to be here, on top of LSU not wanting to be here. Their coach wants this bowl win. I mean, I just think there's all types of motivation factors for Kansas State here.
Yeah, I agree completely. I absolutely agree. In this type of situation, when there's a team clearly not putting out their best personnel, I'm not too worried that everybody sees it and is hammering it. And Nikolai Jabinski is on 3 unanswered point or scores no at +185. I was just saying that's at 185. Interesting. All right, there you have it. So we have Jose on the Kansas State first half -4 at -110, and LSU team total under 20.5 at -150. I'm on Kansas State first half -3.5 -115, and full game -7 at -110. There you have it. Jose, my man, I will be seeing you on the NFL show tonight, coming off a big winning week that I needed absolutely desperately. Very
Desperately.
lucky. Oh, God. More than you guys could know, sadly. I hate admitting that. But it was very, very important to.
Me and your father talked about your gambling, by the way. We had a good chat about your NFL and everything. And I think me and him, grandson, grandpa chat.
All right, there you have it. That is LSU, Kansas State for our man, Jose Bouquet. Let's review all action here. So in NHL, it is the Devils. The Devils, has it moved at all? Let's just see if it's moved at all here before we... No, +215, so it hasn't moved. God, the Devils are just playing so good. Who cares? I shouldn't say who cares, but we don't even know if we expect Dougie Hamilton to not be in the lineup, but who cares? And then the question I'll come to is, do you really think that is Boston really going to take over the game? And that's possible, because I also think this over 5.5 is God. But my ROI in Boston is not good. Not good. All right. So Devils money line in the over 5.5 is what I'm looking at. I mean, look at this. Devils team's just rolling right now. Hughes 8 points over the 3-game winning streak. You have Hischier points in 5 straight games. So then the Flames. I mean, you have a Florida team without Reinhart, Marchment, and Bennett. You have to think the Flames are live here. So that is, I'm expecting that to be my action. You will see Mr. Gokster breaking down NHL with me throughout moving forward. So Jose moved on the over 5.5, and Bled says Dougie did not travel with the team. God, that's too bad. This could be a bad injury, because they're giving us no information on it. Yeah, North Ender. I mean, how do you not? I don't know how you don't, with the way Hughes and Hischier are playing right now. Then the only thing I can think of is, do you want them just first period? Do you expect them to come out hot? Maybe first period is a safer look, just because they're playing so well right now, and that the Bruins could kind of wear them down. That's it for me in NHL. What do you think, North Ender? Do you think that first period is safer? I mean, it's +175 is still a pretty good score. And you know how good they're playing, so we just need Hischier and Hughes to pop one in the first period, and then who cares if the Bruins take over? thinking about it. I'd love to hear what you think, North Ender. Then in NBA, Grizzlies money line for Dan Kelly, a possible Darius Garland assist prop for Wham Bam, and I think I'm going to roll with the Grizzlies here. Spurs Raptors, no move for me, but Wham was close to moving on the Raptors. Then Wham moved on the Knicks -2.5 at -109, and I'm tailing. I want in soon before it moves too much. I can understand the look on the Pelicans. He's moving on the Pelicans team total over 107.5 at -118. I'm hesitant there. Then Wham's move on Halliburton over 9.5 assists at +108. And Dan Kelly's on the Kings at +6.5. There's Lex Steele in the house. And then Jose and I are all over this Tax Act Bowl. Second last college football game of the year. I'm on Kansas State, first half -3.5 and full game -7. Ixnell says, yes, Jim, I like the Grizzlies tonight for sure. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think they're the right side today. North Ender says, to be honest, I didn't give that first period much thought, but I see your point. It's just that we know who's the hot players are, so do we just take them to pop one in the first period and then kind of let go? Yeah, we you know, a lot of us, Fat Wally, were athletes back in the day. Not me as much as other guys, but I played sports and played hard. Jose?
If everyone's over 6 foot, I'm gonna look like a fucking infant.
Oh, perfect. I'm on Kansas State first half -3.5, full game -7. Jose's on Kansas State first half -4, -110, and the team total under 20.5 at -150. 150. There you have it. So Gamblers First Glance. Let's go over some of the highlighted action here. Gamblers First Glance is Marquette -1. And we have big news about the Razor Sharp Horse Racing Show. So there's going to be a big announcement this week as well. Das Diggity in the house. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're just closing up the show now, Das, but we are here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we start at 11 a.m. Eastern. Turnsy is betting the Wings today. Look, I get it. I just think it's a tough kind of a coin flip spot, and I'm hesitant to move on it. Then we have the taint play of the day. Sweet taint. And I know this isn't taint, but it is Sarah Boyle on Tim Boyle's head. You know, because Jose's been trying to figure out the right look for Sarah Boyle, or Susan Boyle. God, I keep it Susan Boyle and Tim Boyle. I would like this. I think this is a good start, but I'd like to see the back of the jersey, like a in play, like running down the field or with the ball in the arm, if it's possible. I know you got a ton of work today. I hate just giving you Sarah Boyle or Susan Boyle. Shit, Susan Boyle work. But we have the taint play of the day. That's Kansas -6.5. Then from all the action from Dan Kelly, he's also on the third quarter. Memphis, Cleveland over 55.5, and Sacramento, as I said, +6.5. And then Lamont Williams max bet, and Lamont Williams max bets hit nonstop. Florida State full game under 145.5. Florida State full game under 145.5, and that's it. So I've got to NFL nonstop. Week 18, final week of the year. We're coming off an 8-3. Week 17 that I needed desperately, plus 4.7 units, up about $700. It doesn't cover what happened to me week 16, but moving in the right direction, taking a little bit of the pressure off. Thank you guys so much. You guys were awesome as always. I've missed you guys immensely. Real Deal Prime wants lips around that. That's what Real Deal Prime, he wants something. We'll give it to him.
Oh, I can't get my mouth around that thing. Oh,
anything you need, anything you want, Real Deal Prime. And there's Lamont Williams with that max bet. Florida State full game under. Foxy, Lex Steele, Turnsy, James S, Das Diggity, Fat Wally, North Ender, Ick Schnizzle, James S, Let's Go Brandon, Real Deal Prime, JB, AJN, Dennis Garcia, Daniel Zommerdijk, Nikolai Jubinski, Champino in the house. Gark Balls. Oh, what a great group. Thank you guys so much for everything that you put into the show. It means the world to us and makes me want to fight the good fight. There's Millsy in the house as well. Buzznuts, Mark Schillingberg, Brian Watson, Jared, TG, all you guys. Yes, football show tonight, week 18. I really want to hear your looks. I'll be working nonstop on it. So let's get it. B Fox is on the Golden Knights team total over 2.5. Thank you guys for everything you do. And I mean it. It means the world to me. And with us being locked down and full of anger, having this show is I'm so thankful for it. So on behalf of my producer on the ones and twos, the great Jose Bouquet and Jeff Slaughter, our fearless leader, and everybody here at Pub Sports Radio, thank you guys for watching. It's 2022. Let's get their fucking cash. Leche. Hey, those bookmakers, milk that shit.